Well, we are going to get into our topic, and if you were tuned in Wednesday, you did get a little sneak peek of it, although not even we knew that it would be a sneak peek. And it came from, I think, an offhand remark. What?
I'm laughing.
Oh, I think it came from an offhand remark that someone made about the Brian Davis J. Crew collab. Brian Davis from Wooden Sleepers, of course, did a feature with J. Crew where they're like selling some totes, some
Yeah.
T-shirts, but he also did kind of an editorial on their website. Like a couple product recommendations and did a couple sponsor posts. And so we did a hypothetical. If you I mean, it was a very messy hypothetical because I think we were all had different things in our heads. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but it was just like it was just like, what if you got sponsored by, say, J. Crew? How far would
Yeah.
you go to like
Yeah. Like what?
recommend them on your
Yeah.
Instagram? Like, what would you wear in the photo shoot?
Or
All this
like, or
stuff.
like, yeah. What extent would you be comfortable with, right? Like, would
Exactly.
you wear like? Would it be like, oh, here are my 5 picks of the season, or would it be like, you have to wear an entire outfit from J. Crew, or they have a selection that they pre-picked for you,
Yeah.
and you would have to,
For
you'd get paid to do it,
I
but
know.
they would still, you have no control over what they're putting on you, right?
Yeah, no one gets to
So there's
dress me. You're not my mom.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just curious. Anyone can take it where it is. And it doesn't have to be J. Crew. We can also talk about like what if it was like the Armory or something? Because I
I
mean,
mean, I'm
or
sure.
as we know, Henrik has gotten some stuff from the Bone Fracture, right? So
and
it's like there's some stuff there, right? So
and I
there's
mean,
a lot
I'll
of
say,
hypotheticals that we can
I'm
discuss.
sure that we have all. If you have like more than like 400 followers on Instagram, you will get messages from like weirdo brands
Yeah.
being like, "Hey, we want to send you a free thing." And so, if any of you have ever taken up one of those offers or whatever, please.
I got those messages at like 20 followers.
Yeah, it happens. Like they
No,
just.
and let's not forget that even after like for like the past like month, I've stopped using hashtags. Like yesterday, I got like a random spam account. And I'm like, how did you even? I mean, how did you even
How
find
do you
it?
find this?
Like I get it if like someone was following me, but like if it's like a bot, it's clearly a bot. I'm like, how did that even work? I don't know. I don't know anymore how the algorithm works. I don't work in social media anymore. I don't want to deal with it. But like it's crazy, you know. Um, but it's the yeah. So I guess yeah, you have to post on your Instagram. I guess that's what BondCon is. It's not just they're not just giving it to you for free. Like it would have to be in exchange for you know appearing on your feed or something. You gotta have like copy. It's gotta have hashtag ad on it. Like
Mhm.
like that's a very big component of SpawnCon. And there's usually talking points that you're gonna have to have. So yeah, anyone can
Hashtag
take it where it
ad
is.
these pussy.
And if you guys haven't,
Ooh.
we have had discussions very broadly on influencers, and there's a podcast episode on it, so you guys can go find those things. But here, this is specifically about the hypothetical spawn scenarios. So I don't know, Spencer, what's yours? What are you comfortable with? What wouldn't you do?
So I mean, I would be more comfortable. If I mean, again, if I fully got to pick the terms of this endorsement deal, I would do
Hmm.
something I think similar. I mean, maybe similar to Brian Davis, I guess, where it's like you're at the very least you get to pick out your full outfit. But I think he was like mostly wearing, he was wearing a lot of his own clothes with just like, a J. Crew like button up or something like that. Um,
Well, it was just the overshirt. He was wearing the madras, the chinos, and the sneakers.
oh, that's right. Well, how about the outfits he would put on the mannequins then, where it would be like
Oh
all
yeah,
vintage
okay.
pieces,
Well, that's
all
like that's kind of a
vintage.
cop out, right? Where you're like, oh yeah, here's not my body.
No,
Let's
no, no.
put
I'm
this
not even
stuff on
talking
there.
about the mannequin. Like I'm saying, like I would like the same kind of thing where it's like mostly, and I mean I've seen this in other other kind of like in the like celebrity editorial, not celebrity editorials, but like those same kinds of things where they get someone and they will be wearing, mostly their own clothes, but then they'll have on like a J. Crew coat or something. I would be fine with that. I mean, I don't know. It's like it's weird talking about like J. Crew because it's like I worked there and I don't know. I liked working there. It was
You are already
fine.
a shill, is what we're hearing.
No, it's just like it's like J. Crew specifically like is one place where I don't have that much of I wouldn't have that much of an issue like kind of putting a J. Crew ad on my feed.
Yeah, it's not like H&M for you or something.
Yeah, like H&M,
Banana Republic.
Exactly. Like I would kind of feel lame doing that. I mean, J. Crew. I don't know. Again, I worked there. I had a good time.
What I like is when like 316 will like feature they did recently with Blackstock and Weber, right? Like the guy who runs that, which I think is cool. But that's more like that's just like them being journalists and like featuring someone.
I mean, the coolest way to do it, and this doesn't really happen with the bigger brands like J. Crew much, obviously, but like when Drake's would feature artists,
yeah.
Stuff like that. And it would just be like them in their studio just painting or whatever, and they're wearing like a Drake's shirt or the overshirt or whatever, and they like just write a little bit. That's really cool. I mean, it's like not them I don't even think most of the time they're necessarily like selling you the shirt in the copy.
Right.
But yeah, I think that kind of thing is very nice, but
Yeah, that's I tend to agree on that. But the thing is, right? If you go on the artist page, it's not like they have to post 3 times on their feed and then hashtag it ad. Like that's kind of like the difference. I mean, but everyone knows I'm like anti-SpawnCon anyway.
And it's like, yeah, so. I'm not like I don't think of my social media as much of like an extension of my true self as you do. I think. I don't post. I just don't like think about it as much. So I'm kind of more fine with it being like.
Right, but you also don't post as much at.
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So then the rate. I mean, it doesn't matter. Social media is whatever. But it's kind of fun to see like the ratio. Like you will have a smaller ratio of paid to sponsor or sponsored to free posts.
Yeah,
because you don't post as much,
Yeah, money.
The ratio isn't real.
The ratio of money to not money.
The ratio sounds.
Yeah, I mean, what about you, MJ? Would you be paid for a post? And what level of SpawnCon would it be?
I don't know, because like you just said, it would be. I also don't post as much, so it would be weird to have like. Also, my feed is not like consistent for like one thing. Like most people that even do, or I'm sorry, that don't do like any sponsored content, they still have like a consistent feed, right? Or like like they have like a particular way.
There's like a vibe of their account, yeah.
Yeah, as far as tailoring their account for whatever, so it would be weird just like suddenly there's like I don't know, there's like a Uniqlo post sponsored post on my page, and then the next thing is like I don't know, Anime Expo. So I don't know.
See, that's how I think about it. It's just kind of like it's so, even though it looks like it's all menswear, I mean it's still like there's still other stuff I want to post.
I mean, here's the other thing. I feel like if someone was like, if I ran into someone that I knew and they were like, "Oh, I saw you did like a sponsored post on your Instagram," I'd be like, "Yeah, dude, I got this much money," and they'd be like, "Oh, that's cool." Yeah. Like they like all the thoughts of like, "Oh, you took an ad." I feel like that's most people. I feel like wouldn't think that way.
On the flip side, being featured like on the promotional material for like
but that's different though. That's different.
I maybe it's still a big it's still kind of weird. But if I did have like a consistent I guess menswear feed, maybe. Can't be really particular. I don't know. We're all kind of on the same page about that, though.
Yeah. What about you, Matt?
Well, yeah, generally speaking, I think like it's a little lame to do like the hashtag ad and all that stuff. I like at least for stuff that you don't like fully support. Like I like supporting
Right.
brands I actually like, and that's genuinely there. And even with that, I mean, even if I had to wear something that was kind of like more of a business deal, to post like a hashtag ad, that's annoying. Unless I could like get away with it in like the ad copy, that it's almost a little bit post-ironic, me doing an ad for something that just like kind of wearing this. Like again, people might like get it, but yeah, it would be a little tone deaf to do something like that, I think. And then obviously, like you guys talked about in the stream, which I skimmed, just like if I was paid upwards of like millions of dollars or whatever, I don't care, then sure, why not? But
I mean,
generally speaking, no.
Yeah, I mean, but like, what would you be? What would you be comfortable with? I should say, other like, more realistically speaking, would it be like one piece or full? Or would you be okay with doing like a full head to toe J Crew look, or it doesn't have to be J Crew or whatever? Yeah.
Well, because I've had this, you guys might remember, I've had this mentality before, like because I worked at Brooks Brothers, like. I wasn't too opposed with the idea of, okay, if I'm going to be here a while, I can like still wear Brooks Brothers pieces and still make it Drake's or make it sort of this style. Like, they have the good OCBDs and do like fudge it with made measure and all that stuff. So I can make it work. So I don't mind wearing like, if I had to do like a J. Crew thing, like I know they're, they can't do high rise or whatever. I don't know. I'd find a way. I don't know their stuff as well, but I'd be okay doing like a fit as opposed to just wearing one piece that was like a jacket or something. I think I'd be a little bit flexible on it. And honestly, I'm not opposed to short rise. I think I have like one pair of like short rise pants that sort of fit me that I'm okay with. But it's not my favorite, but obviously I love high rise, but it wouldn't be the worst thing if I had to wear it for a thing. I could get through it, especially if there's
never wear it again.
techie. So then I'll never wear it again.
I think what it might come down to for the big question for like everyone might be, what big brands would you say no to? Because I think like the short answer for me on like, would you take a sponsored post would be like, it really depends on the brand. If I do actually like them, then I'll probably do it. But if it's something that if I don't know, but paying me money, I might. But for like, we've used H&M as an example. I probably would turn them down for just like kind of like ethical concerns.
Yeah, like J. Crew and Uniqlo are the only mall brands that I like.
I feel like you could probably have ethical concerns about those brands too. But
of course.
I just more concerned about the H&M ones.
Yeah.
No, those are too far. Yeah.
What about let me throw out a crazy hypothetical here. Let's say like H&M specifically. So bad brand that we don't like that makes bad clothing came to you and was like, it turns out that your Instagram feed is the algorithm, is like what's trending right now. And we've created the Ethan collection, the Spencer collection, the, whoever collection. It's entirely based on things that you've posted. And then they like reveal some sort of outfit that like just completely clicks with you. How would you feel about that then?
After we throw up?
So they like...
They're like, you're our muse, and we have created clothing.
So
they make you like
everything you look for.
No, it's like Deus Ex, where they make the AI like designed to his like pornography search history or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. I think I would just be weirded out.
Yeah. Like I tell them, is it weird that I don't want that?
Well, let me re-edit it. Let me re-edit it. What if it was more like what we did with Clark and Barbara, where it goes, "Hey, let's work together and we'll make it the way you want it."
Okay, so natural fiber materials and
actually,
you can't prove.
If someone, as long as it's not made in child labor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's actually interesting. If someone wanted to give me the reins for like a small collection, or at least like have a hand in designing it,
If you could somehow prove that it was ethically made, or quote unquote, or at least not as bad as places like H&M.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to prove
maybe
it wouldn't be. But
they would tell you, but would it be?
It's one of those things where that one would be harder to say no to if I actually had a hand in designing something.
Right.
I guess it's a question
of
what scale.
Like, I know that you're very anti-ad, but yeah, would you want to design something for?
Well, okay,
a
so
brand that you don't
let me
think
say.
is cool?
Well, let me. Okay, this will be some hot takes now. Let's go. I don't like being asked to do anything, and so if I were to design it, I would be like, okay, cool, but I don't have to post it, and I don't have to promote it. Like that would be it, because I don't like the idea that I have to do something. You know, it kind of reminds me
something that you did.
Well, it's. I mean, like, I mean, no, I know,
no, but you don't
no. I'm saying I can do it, but you can't contractually obligate me onto a schedule for it.
Okay, so you're just like John Draper, you don't want a contract.
It's the Ethan and Wong collection at H&M. How can you not promote it?
So you put it in your rider. I don't have to post it.
It's like, this is the thing where it's here. The good example here is, and I've heard this. This is something. This might be a photographer thing, but I remember listening, going to a talk with a sartorialist, and he said the thing he hates most is when people say, "Can you take a picture of me?" That is like it's so annoying. It's like when Henrik Radio does the same thing, where Alex Vetkovich even said like, the emails he hates are like when someone goes, "Hey, when can I be on Handcut Radio?" That is the same feeling I get if that were to happen. Like, "Hey, when can you post about me?" Like I hate that. That is like I hate that feeling a lot. So any kind of sponsored content or kind of ad thing kind of is in that vein where they're asking me to do this, and it's like, well, if it'll happen, it'll happen. Just be patient, man. Like, or whatever,
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's even why I don't do paid photo shoots as much, just because it's not that I don't want to be paid. It's more like, well, I want to have a weekend to hang out with my friends, and I don't see them during the week. So why am I gonna give up my time for that? So that's kind of why. I mean, this is like
too hot.
And that's my, and I guess that's how I apply it to like social media or whatever, because it's still like, and you guys have seen how much stuff is still pending in my drafts that I still want to share with people. Like I have like all the, I just scanned in film on Monday and I scanned in film today, so there's going to be way more things waiting that I want to share. So it's like, I don't know. But the good thing with Clark and Barba is that, I think we talked about this in the influencer episode, but like, they designed it with us. They didn't ask for anything. They didn't say you have to promote it. You have to like this many swipe ups or whatever. But it happened naturally because I literally used the bag, right? Like nothing. It wasn't. We weren't paid to do it. Like we didn't. I mean, I guess we technically could have gotten a share of the revenue. I don't think anyone ever bought a bag anyway. So we're also not the best people to do this literally with anyway, because we don't have the ability to. We don't have the ability to.
By the way, it's a great bag.
We're the best.
Just go ahead and tank
both of them.
The podcast.
Yeah.
Both bags are great.
It's just one of those things where I'm just realistic about it. And so far, no one's really given us anything in exchange for anything, right? Like, I mean, we got those stubs and Wooten slippers that unfortunately don't really fit either of us, or at least mine don't really fit, but we still wore them. Mm-hmm. We didn't have to be like, whoa, like unboxing, like one story tile of unboxing, and then
I think basically there's a cool way to do it, and I hate using that C word, but it's not saying #ad and being like. I think there are subtle ways to like give nods to makers that you do like and who do give you things in social media. Maybe choosing whether it's a story or an actual post and how you do it, and it is subtle ways to do it. That doesn't look lame.
It's the transactional aspect that I just never sits right with me. This kind of like winking nudge, like, hey, if you give you this, give us a little thing.
I mean, you
like,
don't have to,
I know, yeah, but like, there's that kind of small understanding, and you can always just not follow it.
Or just don't buy the thing,
Well, no, but yeah, I mean, I'd rather buy it so I am absolved of that thing, like that's, if someone wants to give me something for free, You know, like it's like if okay, another thing is a guy goes, "Hey, can I like hey, I'll buy you some lunch." Cool. And they go, "Cool. Can you take a picture of me at lunch with you and post it and tag me in it?" It's like, "Okay, all right, dude, let's calm down." Like I thought you were just giving me lunch, right? Like MJ, if MJ says, "Hey, I got McDonald's for you," he's not going to be like he's not going to
Where's my
force
picture,
me.
bro?
Yeah, where's my
Right.
picture, bro? You
And
know?
Yeah, just more
So-
social fluency.
from the
Yeah,
MJ
like
McDonald's.
I'd rather pay for my own meal at that point, dude. I don't want to fucking deal with that shit, you know.
Mhm.
You wanna go off
I
the
don't
clock.
need food. I don't
Be
need
like,
food
"I'm
that much.
sorry,
It's like
a Big Mac
and-
is not as much as my fee."
yeah, and it's also like I mean, again, this is probably more of an Ethan thing, but I have a lot of clothes already, so I don't need clothes I'm not gonna wear,
Right.
you know. And that of course, like we said, the hypothetical varies, right? Between like, well, what if it's a good brand? Well,
Yeah.
like say if it was particularly J. Crew, right? And we discussed this on the stream. Like if I had to pick something, and if I was forced to do an ad, it would probably be like a T-shirt or something, you know. But like, I would really say no if it was like, oh yeah, you can pick 5 items. Like, just give me. I'll just do the T-shirt, man. I don't need the chinos. I
Just
don't
be like,
need like
yeah.
sport
It'll
coat.
be,
Like I
it'll
will.
be
There's just so
underwear
many
and-
choices. I
and
would love to
socks,
just
right?
do one instead.
Yeah. I mean, you
I
kind
think
of
this
did
goes
that.
past. Yeah.
You kind of did that at the event that we had you at J. Crew, because I think they were like, "Oh, we'll give you an outfit," and you were like, "I'll just take this coat."
I'll take the barn coat, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one,
and-
please.
yeah. Yeah, see, and that was fine. Like that felt like that felt more like a homie kind of a thing as opposed to like a transactional influencer kind of a, you know.
Yeah.
Right. I think
kind
it
of
goes
an
past
aspect,
just
you
like
know?
do this quick ad and then you're done and you don't have to it's like who cares about the outfit? I think it goes just again more to intentional dressing. Is this something not only I'd wear, but do I support sort of these makers, these people? Is this
Right.
something I want to
Yeah.
promote? You know, just like from within you, and that's something that you do with your social media. It's all very you, and it's like, well, why would I post this if it's not genuinely me? You feel like you build a
Yeah.
trust with your consumers, I'll call them.
I mean,
and,
I don't
and you don't want to betray
yeah.
that trust with an ad.
I mean, I think that's a very deep analysis of it. I just, as much as that's probably true, I think the real answer is I just like my stuff too much. Like that's just the real
Right.
answer. I just love my clothes. I love my own photography, and so yeah. I mean, I even seldom post what other people take of me. You know, like I it's very. I mean, that doesn't happen a lot, but you know, it's still very rare.
It's in tagged. Just
Um,
leave it there.
You know, yeah. It's just that's
Got it.
just me. Well, yeah. Well, let's see anything else. I mean, Jason, what about you? You have a very specific look. Like, how would it work with you?
Money.
So what ridiculous thing? What's the limit? Not money wise, but like the other end of it. Like
No,
who-
yes,
what
money
would you
wise.
like?
Give us your price.
Well, he already said all this.
I mean, like, yeah, I wouldn't do anything with like H&M or anything.
Right.
But, I mean, if
But what
J.
it-
Crew or
yeah.
something was like, oh, you know, I wouldn't let them dress me under any
Uh-huh.
circumstance.
You still have to do you. Right.
Yeah, even for a lot of money, they don't get to tell me what to wear.
How about say
Right.
they let you like
Um,
design a tie, or not? Well, or they're
Those
like-
H&M
well, like, maybe
ties.
not design a tie. They are advertising a tie that has like a very quote unquote punk rock aesthetic. Would you let them? Would you wear that?
Yeah, I mean,
something like not a full
probably-
outfit, but just like a tie.
I'm
Yeah,
mostly
yeah,
okay with like
something that,
H&M
like-
knitwear because I wear a couple H&M knitwear pieces that are natural fibers, but it's just like I feel like there'd be some cool kind of grungy look that maybe you could work on them with, and
Yeah.
Well,
maybe that wouldn't be the worst
I
thing,
wouldn't do any H&M or like Zara stuff.
right?
Just on an ethical sort of thing. And I mean, J.
Yeah.
Crew is barely any better.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like J. Crew is like, oh, you know, we'd like, you know, yeah, we have this tie, or we have like, especially if it's like a peripheral, right? You know, I don't make ties, I don't make like shoes or anything. You know, then that's an easy one for me. I mean, it's still going to cost them a lot of money, but, or I definitely
I'll
would be
buy it.
open to, right, if a lower, you know, like a J. Crew is like, oh, we'd like to do like a sort of like a mini like capsule collection, whatever, with you, and I get to sort of, you know, we sort of make my stuff just cheaper. You know, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Still cost
You know,
them-
or yeah, that idea is I think if it was J. Crew, and I probably wouldn't even be paid for it, right? But like if they said, "Oh, Ethan, what's your 5 picks of the season?" Like and you don't have to wear it. I'd be like, "Yeah, that's fine. You can have like a little blurb that says Ethan M. Wong, podcaster, writer, photographer. Here's his 5 picks. Here's a bucket hat. Here's like a chambray, maybe.
Yeah.
Here's like some like shorts. No other stuff. Like that's fine. I could do that. That's fine. That's like a curation kind of a thing. Doesn't mean I'll wear it. So
Yeah, that's an easy paycheck.
I mean, I would even say like I even if Drake did it, I probably wouldn't wear their pants. Like that's probably like one big.
It's too slim, too short.
Yeah,
Too slim.
Yeah, maybe like I would like size up on their games jacket and then have them tailor it so it fits like it's like long enough, but then they have to like take in the back like a lot just to make it like look good. But yeah, I mean, hey, if this was Drake's like 4 years ago, I might have done it, but that won't happen. That's gone.
We can't go back in time yet.
Yeah.
If we could find a way.
So like those sort of things, right? I mean, I agree with you there. Like, I don't want to be forced to have to post about it. But I am just so humble that I will anyway.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's too small.
So when you sign a contract that just it says you don't have to post about it, but we'd appreciate it if you did.
Well,
like, that's just,
it's
say that.
Right. It's like, okay. Well, at least you asked nice. Like you have no expectations.
The thing is, right, Jason, like it would have to be something that you wouldn't make yourself, right? Like it'd be weird, like
so you don't want them to draft the post for you.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah, they don't get to they don't get any say in the post, right? If they say, "Oh, can you just make a post about it?" They don't get any say in the post. They get the words like J. Crew in the post.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the interesting thing though is like if you're known for your suit aesthetic, right? Like, would you be okay wearing their pants, even though you want your pants to be a certain way, and you designed your pants, right? Like that would be a weird thing, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it'd mainly have to be like peripherals, or again, it'd have to be sort of like a capsule thing where like there's specific pieces that I made with them.
Right. Yeah, that's probably what it have to be. Like, I need to be able to control it.
If they just told me you got to wear a Ludlow suit, I would say, give me $1 million and I'll do it.
You see, but even then, if that point is, I don't want it to be a paid post, because once you're doing work for them, it's not an ad anymore, right? The ad part is because they're paying you for that post. It's not you sharing it. That's like the difference. Right. When it's taking up an otherwise free spot on your thing, that's when it's hashtag ad. If you're just wearing it of your own volition or whatever, that's not hashtag ad. There are guidelines for that kind of a thing. So like, yeah, I mean, if J. Crew wanted to collab on something, maybe I'd post about that. But if they're saying, hey, we're paying you for like 3 story posts and 1 feed post, and that's when that's even worse, for me.
So to go back to a very quickly, I want to go back to an older hypothetical. So if they did ask you to do your 5 picks of the summer, they didn't say you had to post about it. Would you post about it?
Probably. I'd probably be like, hey, check out what I did on J. Crew.
Yes, there you go. Okay. So you just want to know that nobody's making you do this.
Yeah,
you're gonna get kind of now that say, please don't post about us.
Right, wink.
But I can't be paid for it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like there's a difference between there's a difference between SpawnCon hashtag ad and collaborating, right? There's a difference between those two things.
Well, they still have to pay me to collaborate with me.
Oh well, I can't do that.
Oh no! There's still a check has to be written just for me to like.
But see, that's where it loses, because like that's where personally, right? Like that's where the power comes in.
Well,
right?
I'm spending my time to do it.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay me for that time, because that's time I can't see my own.
They want your insight. They're paying you for your insight if you're helping to design it.
I'm getting a consulting fee for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh right, no, I meant like for like the 5 picks. Like here, we're gonna if it was that version of it. I guess you wouldn't let them give you $75
I'm
Just
still
do,
taking
like,
their money at
a
every
post on
step
their
of the way.
website?
For a spot on my story.
No, not a spot on your story, just to get paid in general for that.
Especially if it's a company like J. Crew, where they
They're
have
not asking
money
you to post on
allegedly.
social media. They're like, hey, do you want to pick 5 things from our current collection? We'll give you $75.
Well,
Yes, like
like you're
yeah.
that's it. You like pick 5 things, write a blurb about it. We'll give you $75. They're not gonna say.
oh, okay.
I've
Okay,
been
so
paid.
they're paying me to write like no,
Yeah.
they're telling me to write like an essay on it. Then yeah, then I can get
Okay,
paid. Yeah,
sure,
it's gotta be
there
like
you
yeah.
go.
So I agree with Jason's thing where if there's work involved, then yeah, then it's being paid a paycheck.
And like
Yeah.
just picking
But if it's
5
like-
items,
but
and like picking 5 items isn't substantial work.
no,
Like,
because
nothing to them, though.
that's like a weird. Yeah, that's like nothing. So then it's like
Okay.
like an ad.
That's like, hey, I'll buy you lunch if you.
And no, I mean
I
it's like
don't
if you're
know.
if you're picking,
If
they're
you
like, oh,
paint my
pick
house.
5 items, we'll give you $75
I mean,
to do it.
painting a
It's
house
like,
is difficult, and picking 5 things and then like writing
Yeah,
a
it's
sentence
still
or
it's
two
still
about 'em.
time you took out of your day to
Is
pick
easy.
those things.
No, that's not the same
Okay.
kind of a thing.
Listen, I'm
Uh,
taking.
but-
No one has to
MJ,
know that
MJ,
you're
guys,
getting paid. That's what I'm saying.
I'm milking every dollar out of anybody who wants.
Well,
to
no,
give me
but
money.
Spencer, again,
Who signed
the
on pay?
guidelines of social media. If it's a paid sponsored post, you have to disclose it. That's the
Oh.
thing. So you do have to. That's why.
Okay.
That's why it's
So if the
hashtag ad.
FBI is gonna knock down you.
How
Yeah,
will
if
they
not,
know?
yeah, then you're gonna get
How will
audited
they
and all
know?
that shit. You
Yeah,
know.
well, they know.
Come on.
I mean,
I don't
it
understand any of
happens. There's I mean, yeah, you're probably not gonna really get caught, but there is those things that are, you know.
I mean,
think
still,
it's
even then,
less, it's less on you. It's less on you, but more so for the company. Like
Okay.
the company is saving their ass by making sure everything that all because I think it's like yeah, when companies place ads, it has to be disclosed that it's an ad. It can't be like hidden or something. So. Like yeah, you're fine as an influencer or whatever, but the company is like, hey, well, you need to put that there because we want to make sure that we're disclosing everything.
But no one's doing. I mean, there's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
legal
but the thing is-
workable
yeah, the
definition
thing-
of an
yeah, but
ad
the
or
thing
of
is, yeah.
influencer of any of those
Yeah,
things.
exactly. I mean,
All
there's
of that
all
is a
that.
lie. There's no
Yeah,
Social
I mean,
media, everything is an
completely-
ad.
completely fake. You know? So that's why
yeah, Henrik. Yeah, let's hear from Henrik.
I don't have any kind of to me like the whole Instagram thing is just amusement that when I started doing it sort of on a more regular basis last year during quarantine, I got some sort of messages from people who know me personally. It's like, what's going on with your why are all these clothes on your Instagrams? Like, are you is someone paying you to do this? Like, what's going on?
That's hilarious.
And I said, no, no one's paying you to do this. I just thought I'd catalog some of the
Right.
stuff I've been I'm wearing, and so on. It was
wearing.
more like a
Yeah.
thing, and then bizarrely someone took an interest in it, and so that's how it goes. So for me, it's not part of any any sort of integral part. It's just a sort of plaything that should never have been anything in the
Right.
first place. So now it's
Uh-huh.
just now that things happening, and like it's sort of I'm watching it with some amusement. But since I'm also an academic, I'm used to like being asked for free labor a lot.
Hmm.
So I do face this kind of
You're
question
used to the abuse.
fairly often. We should be abused, beaten, and all kinds of things. But you do get part of it is, of course, I often get like requests that okay, I'm putting together this volume on philosophy or something like that. Do you want to contribute? And usually my answer is no way.
No way.
Because I'm going to put my name next to these losers. No way. That's usually, that's very usually sort of my firm response. I'm not contributing to this panel. I'm not speaking to this person. Because that would sort of, I don't know, would just be an unpleasant experience. I don't want to do it. And it would be more work than it's worth. So even if they paid me and so on, I wouldn't do it. But for this, it's just, I don't care. Last year, I said I bought like one of the loafers from Oak Street Bootmakers, and I guess that particular one didn't sell very well. So they were very happy that I bought one and took some pictures of it. So they basically gave me another pair of my choice among their stuff.
Wow.
So that's what and it's like okay, but there was no obligation or anything. But I did get them and I did put them out like their camp mocks, and I did take some pictures and stuff of it. And then in fall, I think there was like Crescent Downworks reached out or something. It's like something that I thought about buying and said like we're going to give you one, because someone who designed this particular down vest said that they had picked like some people on Instagram that he would like to wear it, and I said, all right, well that sounds nice. Send it to me, and then but then it actually said I had to wear it for like 3 posts or something. I was like, that's probably going to happen over winter anyway, so fine. I think it did. In the end, that vest was like kind of too long. It wasn't like too great actually, but the quality of it's pretty nice. Actually, I didn't wear it that much, but contractual obligation. I guess I technically fulfilled it, but I sort of forgot about it more than a couple of weeks in, I guess.
Right.
But the Bonfacture thing was weird. Sort of, I have bought their stuff before. And one of the posts attracted they always like my stuff and comment on it, but the particular one they liked very much, and then they said, okay, can we send you some stuff, and then you can take some pictures with it, and so on. They didn't also, this is French, since it's French, they don't like stipulate, they don't really have any kind of guidelines on it. They asked me to mention like the print in one of them, so I did. I usually don't write captions or long ones. My thing. So it would be very weird if I would certainly like address whoever's viewing the post. So like, hi guys, let me tell you about this thing. I do see people like,
welcome back to my Instagram.
Come back to my Instagram. Yeah, or like announcing that I have something that I'm very excited about to share with you or something. Yeah, that would just be a very. Actually, the real rule there is like that would be too much of a stylistic break from my Instagram. Not because Instagram has any integrity or any importance to me personally. It's just that it would just jar me too much aesthetically to have that as like a stain on. But if it just be too jarring and people would think it's weird, and I would be embarrassed about it if it was too.
Hey, that's me too, baby. So
that's the limit, right? It's like whatever like the New York guys are doing, like the stupid caviar and the wine and stuff, like I don't know, man. It's like
okay,
wine's gross. They're not doing that. It's like no. I'm not gonna put that in my face. No.
Wine's gross.
By the way, on that subject of the wine, again, hey, I haven't tried it yet. I still like the work of Jay Muser and everyone there, but they are unveiling all of their collections. 18 East, Jay Muser, and Effie Castleberry. They're all unveiling their like spring summer collections at the Faust Wine Winery in Napa Valley. So that's happening.
Well, hey, we gotta Napa Valley. We gotta go there. We gotta drive up.
Wine is okay. Just like a typical overwrought, too dense, too heavy, too alcoholic Napa wine, like most of them. It's not worth your money. It's not worth your time. But and it's just funny that that's
for me.
Someone could potentially ask you to do that. Someone could potentially ask you to do ask Ethan to do the caviar thing. I guess that's not out of this world. But
I mean, I would say no. I would definitely say no. I mean, it's
eat the caviar, Ethan.
I don't know. I just have very strong. I think. Even though it's like there's a lot of reasons why I wouldn't do it, but I think that it could also just be the copy, since I also write a lot of my own stuff. It's like the fact that you have to address certain things is like, so. Yeah, I mean, I obviously, if I was worth getting free stuff over, it would have happened a lot sooner. But like none of the brands that I even like have considered doing that, and it doesn't. The thing is, it doesn't stop me from posting, right? So I just keep doing my whole life like normal.
You never stop posting.
And that idea, I know Heinrich, we talked a little bit about it, but like the idea of social media is like just kind of this fun thing you do, like whatever. I think I share that a little bit, but it's like. If I'm normally playing video games with my friends, and someone said, "Hey, I'll pay you to play this video game,"
what?
But you have to do it by yourself. It's like, even if it's a video game, I'm like, I don't know. I'd rather use my time for video games to play with my friends. Like that's
Again, money. I want to be paid.
I think the thing there is, I like the time with my friends, Spencer, and I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world.
Wow.
So
I guess he's just better than everyone else.
Just pretend that you're playing by yourself and have the other team muted.
Because they're also trying to ask Ethan to work with something or on something that is not his or not his work,
not his bailiwick.
Yeah, I mean,
it's his hobby. That's why it's his hobby.
Imagine how much money we could have made if we were sponsored when we did that first Warzone win.
Oh, just imagine.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. So it's like, see, I mean,
Jason, we don't
like,
play at that level yet, where people look at us and say they want to give us free G Fuel.
Yeah, but they do in the opposite direction, right? They're really good. We're not that good, so it's like an underdog story.
What I was gonna say though, I mean, it's like, people are paid on YouTube and Twitch all the time to play like a new game for like an hour or something, right? And to me, it's like, man, it's an hour. I'm like not getting back to play with my friends, man. Like that's,
unless
I guess for the sake of the argument, it would be if Call of Duty said, "Hey, we're just gonna pay you to play Call of Duty, same thing you're doing, but just have like a little little banner underneath your little webcam thing on Twitch. It just says like sponsored by Activision. Is that like, would we do that? And maybe, I mean, that's kind of the thing where we'll go, maybe that because I'm still playing with my friends, right? Like, it's still happening. It's still very natural. It just that part happens to be sponsored, and I don't know how that would work in a menswear context because I don't know. I have impossible taste. I don't. I think everyone knows that already. So that's probably why it literally doesn't happen. It has to literally like fill like a gap. Like if Alden said, "Hey, we're gonna give you those V-tip Barry last shell Cordovan shoes, but you have to post it 3 times and tag us," it'll be like with Heinrich. It would be like, or Henrik would be like, "It probably happened naturally. Sure, I can do that. Maybe, like that might be what it is, but because it'd have to be like something I was already planning on buying, or, and that's kind of happened where like, like I think I was about to buy, and I said this something once when like I got like free Aldens from Brogue from my friend Mac, and then I was gonna buy another pair from him, and he goes, "Yeah, it's fine." Like he placed the order, and I go, "Okay, can you invoice me?" He goes, "Don't worry about it." Like that's, and like cool, and I'm sure I've tagged it in multiple times. This is not contractually obligated, but it's like it naturally happened. It's not technically
maybe
sponsored,
he just
but
knew
it's probably
you would
the
do
extent. No, I mean, that's the smart way. Again, even though it sounds like I have a high threshold, if you just don't ask me to do it, then it might happen.
There's a higher chance of it happening.
It's all about the suggestibility with the
I mean, I still like my free stuff, but it's like you gotta make me feel like I'm important. Come on, man. Like that's
it's one of those,
you gotta feed my ego.
Yeah,
I told you I got a Mad King George Boy Scout uniform with your name on it.
There we go. It'll happen.
I'd take it.
Let's do it. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for this
enlightening
fun discussion. This is really great.